Was the stench that woke me up. That awful rotten smell. It filled the room like smoke choking me. I rolled over, gasping for air, but it wouldn't leave. Then I saw it, Yabasira, standing at the foot of my bed, her eyes hollow and dark. Her mouth was twisted in a strange smile, and her clothes were dripping wet, as if she had just come out of a river. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. And then she spoke. Why did you follow me? My name is Femi, and this is the story of how I almost died because of delicious plates of jollof rice. I live in Lagos, not far from the bustling market in Ojota. Life here is fast. People are always moving, hustling, trying to survive. Food is a big deal in Lagos like in any other place. After a long day of work or school, you just want to sit down and treat yourself to something nice that will fill you up. And that's where Yabasira came in. Yabasira's food shop was a small wooden shack tucked between two busy streets. From the outside, it didn't look like much. Faded red painting peeling off the walls, a rusty zinc roof that leaked when it rained. But the smell of her cooking pulled you in. It was like magic. The rich aroma of jollof rice, fried plantain, and pepper soup would hit you from a distance, and the taste, it was like heaven in your mouth. Our shop was always packed, morning, afternoon, night. There was always a queue. Office workers, market women, bus drivers, everyone ate at Yabasira's. She would see men in suits sitting next to bus conductors, all licking their fingers and asking for more. It didn't matter what she served, it was always perfect. The rice was never too soft or too hard. The meat was always tender, and the pepper hit the right spot without burning your throat. Yabasira herself was quiet. She was tall, dark skinned with sharp cheekbones and piercing eyes. She always wore the same blue wrapper and scarf. Her hands were quick, scooping rice, stirring soup, cutting meat. But she never smiled, never joked with customers. But when you finished eating, she would look at you and nod. Just one nod, and that was all. I started eating there regularly after work. My friends warned me though. They said Yabasira was strange. They said her food was too sweet to be ordinary. Some even claimed they had weird dreams after eating there. Dreams of dark rivers and voices calling their names. But I didn't care. The food was too good to pass up. Then one day something unusual happened. A pastor walked into Yabasira's shop. It was in the afternoon, and the shop was full as usual. The pastor was an elderly man with white beard, dressed in a crisp white shirt and trousers. He sat down quietly and ordered a plate of jollof rice with chicken. Yabasira served him without a word, but as soon as he took the first bite, his expression changed. He stopped chewing and looked up at Yabasira. Then he closed his eyes and bowed his head. For a moment, the whole shop was quiet. The pastor opened his eyes and stood up. My brothers and sisters, he said, his voice steady but loud. You need to stop eating here. People turned to look at him confused. I feel darkness here, the pastor continued. There is evil in this place. You must stop eating this food. Yabasira didn't say a word. She just stood there watching him with those cold, dark eyes. Someone in the back laughed. I begged, Pastor, this food is too sweet to be evil. The pastor shook his head. You have been blinded. Leave this place before it's too late. But no one listened. The pastor then left, and within minutes, the noise and laughter resumed. People kept eating. I kept eating too. But then the dream started. That night, I dreamt I was standing at the edge of a river. It was dark and still. Then I heard someone calling my name. a woman's voice. When I turned, there was Yabasira standing waist deep in the water. Her eyes were glowing. She smiled and said, "Come closer." That was when I woke up, sweating. My heart was racing. I tried to shake it off, but the feeling stayed with me. I stopped going to Yabasira's shop for a few days, but my cravings were too strong. So one night, when I stayed late at work, I stopped by at her shop. It was close to midnight, but her shop was still open. The street was empty, except for the glow of a lantern. The door was half opened, so I pushed it wider and stepped inside. She was standing behind the counter stirring a pot of soup. The smell was stronger than usual, almost too strong. "You are working late tonight," I said. She didn't answer. She kept staring. I sat down and ordered jollof rice and chicken. She served me without a word as usual. But I noticed the chicken looked odd. The skin was pale, almost grey. But I was too hungry to care. I ate it quickly and left. That's when things got worse. I started seeing things. At night, I would wake up and see shadows moving in the corner of my room. Sometimes I would hear whispers, my name being called, and the dreams got darker. In one dream, Yabasira stood at the foot of my bed, her mouth moving but no sound coming out. One evening, I decided to go to the shop to confront her. The shop was closed, completely shut down, and that had never happened before. I asked around, but no one seemed to know where she was. Some said she had traveled, others said she had fallen sick. But I know I had to know the truth. That evening, I went back. The shop was still closed, but the back door was silently open. I slipped inside. The place was dark. The pots were still there, plates stacked up, but the smell, it was unbearable. Rotten meat, spoiled food. Then I heard a sound, something dripping. I followed the noise to the back of the shop. There was a small wooden door. I pushed it open and nearly screamed. There was a body in the corner, a man's body. His skin was grey and shriveled. His mouth was wide open, as if he had died screaming. Suddenly, I heard footsteps behind me, and when I turned, there was Yabasira standing. But something was off. Her eyes were black, her mouth twisted unnaturally, her clothes were dripping wet. "Why did you come here?" she whispered. I stumbled back. What? What are you?" She smiled and asked, "Hungry?" I ran. I don't remember how I got out of that shop. All I know is that I woke up at home the next morning shaking and drenched in sweat. I didn't go back to Yabasira's shop after that. A few days later, I heard the shop had been demolished. Some people said it was a health violation, others said something darker. But I know what I saw. To this day, I don't know what Yabasira really was, a ghost, a witch, or something worse. But now I understand why the food tasted so good and why you should always be careful where you eat. Thanks for staying to the end. Please like, subscribe, and share.